Buying a home, it's very stressful, and if you make a bad decision, you can't return it like you would a pair of jeans. That's why so many people rely on the option of house inspectors. But what happens when that advice is questionable? Our consumer specialist Elaine Yong is here with the second part of our special series, and tonight she has important information on the different organizations involved. Elaine.
Well, Russ, it is confusing out there for home buyers looking to hire a home inspector. And you know what? Once you do hire one, you pretty much assume they're going to do a good job for you. But what if, as we showed you yesterday, they don't? What can you do if it happens to you?
What's important for people to know, if you're in this situation, there is no quick fix. There's no easy fix or answer, that it really is quite a struggle.
And she should know.
The mold, those are the 3 rooms full of mold, and it can get airborne, so it's had to be sealed off from the rest of the house.
We first met Beverly Richardson about a year and a half ago. She was about to move into a $500,000 home in West Vancouver. The home inspector didn't tell her about the toxic mold and the massive structural problems. This is that house today. Beverly had to sell it for land value only to a builder. She lost $100,000.
Well, I certainly wrote associations, I wrote government officials, I did all the follow-ups I could, looking for resources and support. And basically, I've been left on my own. That would be the bottom line.
Nobody was there to help you?
No. I don't see where there's consumer protection. Everywhere I turned, there was no consumer protection.
We happened to see the sign that is for sale.
And as we showed you yesterday, that's the same thing Malcolm Wheeler has found. His dream home turned into a nightmare. Like Beverly, his inspector missed major problems with the foundation, the attic, the roof, as did the inspector we hired for our undercover investigation.
You recommend that it's a good purchase?
All I can say is that overall is favorable.
There are at least 4 different organizations in this province representing home inspectors, and to show you how different they can be, I'm going to compare 2 of them. The British Columbia Institute of Property Inspectors and the Canadian Association of Home and Property Inspectors. This is a professional association. This is a trade association. BCIPI calls theirs certified inspectors. CAPI has registered inspectors. BCIPI needs BCIT or equivalent college. CAPI, no specific education, but you must pass 7 exams. To add to the confusion, if you have a complaint, BCIPI will send someone out to evaluate your home, and CAPI doesn't. But regardless, there is no legislation, and enforcement of any kind has no real teeth, as Beverly found out. Her inspector actually belonged to both associations. So they didn't actually go back to see if the inspection report matched up with what was in the house?
No, they didn't even come on site. The other association did. And they said the inspection was well above standard. And they said basically this is the end of it. They consider it closed.
But Elaine, what recourse do consumers have? Is suing the only option?
Well, Russ, the short answer to that is yes. And even if one of the associations does find one of its inspectors fail to meet standards, pretty much the only thing you're going to get back is a refund of the actual home inspection fee. You are still stuck with the house, and the inspector can actually keep working. Now, in most cases like that of Beverly and Malcolm's, the only recourse at this point for them is to pursue legal action.
So if the associations don't really help, how to find a reliable inspector?
Well, Russ, I'll have all the details on that tomorrow in Part 3, the final installment of our 3-part series on home inspectors.
All right, thanks a lot, Elaine Yong.